know, he wanted to be drum major all along. It was something else. I was like, wow. So I was like, okay,
I am missing. Is this where I put it?
Yeah.
Last time?
Yeah, because it'll get all four of us, I think.
I'll get you right here in the middle, and then Mo with her late ass be right over
on
here.
the side. Do you need to pull the shade down, or is that good?
What's up, Chandra?
Hey y'all, what's up, Miss Hall? You ain't even answered my question yet, Miss Hall. I asked you when you was coming on the show last year. I ain't gonna ask you no more, because I got something in the making. I'm telling you, I got a thought, and I'm trying to include my classmates on my thought. So I'm talking specifically to you, Miss Chandra Hall.
Actually, it's...
Oh!
No, it's... Yeah, it's Hall now. I keep forgetting, yeah. Cook was a maiden name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, didn't mean to put your business out there like that. But...
Music today is line dance music, everybody. Music today is line dance music.
And for everybody that knows
And
and
I'm
follows
gonna walk
the
right
show,
through here.
yeah, you got a camera full of ass. So, look, we've been doing this show for a while now, and to all our followers that know us personally and have our personal numbers, I don't understand why it is that during the show you decide you want to text us.
I don't know, bro.
Or call.
I don't get that either.
Like,
I really
you
don't
know we
understand
doing
that.
the show.
I don't understand that. I don't get it.
I like your glasses, man.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were trimmed in red. I didn't see that before. Yeah. Wait, I thought they was wood grain.
My others have wood grain in them.
Okay.
All right, coming back through.
Look at that. Look at all that.
Oh, you should have closed the door.
I get
You got
it.
closed the door. Okay, yeah. So you gotta put your gadonk back in front of YouTube now. Okay, so let me get off of here. Let me go here and go on my Facebook page so I can watch our comments. Because it's going to be something today.
Yeah, I don't have any battery life.
You don't have a...
No.
Here.
I thought I did, but I don't.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not that one. It's the regular soul one.
I don't know if I have that one. Into more. Let me look.
Are we crooked?
Are we crooked?
That's not what the level meter say.
Okay.
Well, the level meter.
Chandra said it's blurry.
Oh, which
Blurry.
one?
1 minute left. Okay. Yeah, it's not blurry on my phone.
You need to clean your phone.
I don't know which she has to be.
No, I see everything clear. You need my glasses, Chandra.
Oh, you wrong.
I know. I'm being
That's
ugly
horrible.
today.
Yeah, she did say just telling her biz.
Who?
Chandra.
About what?
It was about her last name and
Oh,
stuff. Like,
yeah,
you know,
my
you
bad.
calling her out. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
hey, Sorry.
Standing by. Thank you, Mr. Chandra.
Oh, wait, I do need to put on the headset, though, dog.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be good.
That would be nice, huh?
Yeah, I guess so they can actually hear us in radio land.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Wait a minute, man. Come on.
3, 2, 3. We're live. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
What's up,
Yeah,
everybody?
welcome to MashThaGas.
All right, man. You know, shoot, go ahead, take it away.
Oh no, so I was just trying to help you out. You was a little tied up there,
We
Yeah.
got
so you know.
Hendrix over here.
Take it away, bro.
Your girl Sunshine.
Yeah.
And Q over here on
What's
my
up,
left.
everybody? How y'all doing?
Everybody is.
We can share that.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody, if you want to join the conversation, listen, our phone number is 214-717-4827. Listen, make sure that you follow us right here on the afterparty.com side B shows, because we bad like that. And also make sure that you follow us on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Also, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat as well, right?
Yeah.
We're on Snapchat as well. Listen, today's topic, Relevant Conversations Part 2. We had some really good conversations on last week. And listen, if you guys didn't check the show last week, you guys checked it out. You know, we talked about some real good stuff. Half-siblingships and stuff like that, wills and all kind of stuff. We had those good conversations. So now, since we are in our, we're in our last week in January, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's almost our birthday, y'all.
Almost.
It's almost our birthday, right?
I'm already getting ready.
You getting ready, Miss Sunshine?
Cancun, Punta Cana, what we doing?
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana. I like Punta Cana.
Yeah, I like Punta Cana too.
Mm-hmm.
The PR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Punta Cana.
I got a thing the other day for an all-inclusive resort in the Isle of Mujeres. That's in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna check that out because that looked interesting.
Cool.
Well, see, right now with Mexico and all the violence and then Trump and this wall.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of paranoid about going to Mexico right now.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
My Mexican peoples, I got nothing but love for you.
Right.
It ain't y'all I got a problem with. It's y'all government and our government. They not, they not in sync right now.
Right.
So it's nothing against y'all, because I love to go down to, Mexico. I love it.
Love it.
Me too.
Yeah, but right now, I'm gonna back up on that one. I'm gonna put that one on pause.
Would y'all do me a favor real quick before I introduce the first topic? Just want y'all to go ahead and just remind me to pay my meter, like right now, like pay your meter. I can at least do that. I can pay my meter.
Pay your meter.
Yeah. Okay, real quick. Update on the government shutdown. It is ended until February the 15th, 2019, right?
Right.
All right, so.
Just long enough for everybody to get their Valentine's gifts in.
Yeah.
So shady.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You start thinking about it, and all this little stuff comes in just around the holidays. Gas prices drop just in time for the holidays.
Right.
Government shutdown ended just in time for another holiday.
And you know what's interesting? Now these people gonna get their back pay, and then they possibly gonna get 2 checks.
Right.
So then the government can be shut down again.
Right.
But again, they get to Valentine's Day, they get to take care of that.
Right.
But then I wonder if Roger Stone getting busted had something to do with him backing down.
That too.
I'm just saying.
None of this is looking good for 45.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't give a, because you reap what you sow.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, my thing is with it is how you after they arrested you, because it was on CNN.
And come out and do this business.
I mean, you come out the jailhouse victory.
No, I mean that's his. He's got a tattoo on his back
of
Richard Nixon. That is his idol.
When he go to jail, that V's gonna stand for victim. It's gonna stand for. It's exactly what it. And no offense and no pun intended to anyone who's a victim of any kind. I'm just saying that he's gonna be a victim if he go to jail.
Actually, no, he won't, because he'll be in the federal. He'll be in the
that's
federal.
right.
He won't be. He won't
be in a cushy.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he won't really be, too bad. But I mean, he gonna have to probably spend some time in there. But it won't be like your general population, like in Rutgers Island or LSU or nothing like that. Oh, I'm sorry for everybody that's not from the DFW area. LSU is Lou State University.
Yeah, not
Louisiana State.
Not Louisiana State.
So that's our little nickname for the detention center here in the DFW area. So
we call her Lulu for better lack of words.
yeah, well, Lulu can have several different meanings, but we'll leave that alone. That'll be for another time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So real quick, also talking about the government shutdown, of course. We got some issues that's happening with the food, I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not everywhere, I think, but what happens is that there are some media outlets that are warning people against eating stuff like dairy products and some fresh vegetables and stuff like that because of the shutdown.
The FDA.
The FDA,
are short on their inspectors.
Right.
Listen to somebody that has roughly 20 years in the industry.
Okay, help me out.
When you look at your dairy products are all pasteurized. Now, if you're using non-pasteurized products, okay, fine. Then you might have to be concerned. However, if you're using pasteurized dairy products, your concern is very, very minimal. The reason I know this is because that when you have pasteurization, that is your kill step. That is your critical control point prior to you being able to process any dairy products.
Okay.
So with that being said, if you fail your internal CCP, you have to report that to the government. Most companies set their critical control points up to where there's a buffer prior to you having to report anything to the FDA. Or the USDA in this case. It would be the USDA under dairy. Now, your minimum temperature for pasteurized milk is 161 degrees Fahrenheit for a minimum of 15 seconds. Now, what that means is you have to pass milk at 161 degrees for 15 seconds to actually kill all of the bad bacteria. Most companies set their minimum temperature up at 165 degrees. So in the event that they fail their internal process, they do not have to fail the government mandated process. And then at that point, they have to report it. So really people are making a bunch of hype about nothing at all. Because once the government comes back up, if you fail that critical control point, what will happen is your facility will be shut down, and any quality manager with any kind of self-respect about themselves will not let that happen.
Okay.
So, I can speak to the dairy. Now, to the fruits and vegetables, that is a little gray area because the regulations are not as clear. This is why they have inspectors on site on a regular basis. So, that's an area, yes. But as far as dairy products or anything that is pasteurized, fruit juices, anything like that, your concerns are unfounded.
Unfounded. Okay. I look. I'm just saying that the news said that some of the news, and I'm glad that you brought that up.
I'm just making sure I cook all my vegetables.
Yes, and when it comes to your vegetables, the thing you want to do is actually you want to rinse them off thoroughly.
Wash.
Yes.
Right.
Wash them off thoroughly. Now, when I say that,
look, can I have a moment with some special people who may need this information?
Yes.
Wow.
Do not do it like old boy on the YouTube. I saw a little clip. Dude was washing chicken with detergent. No. That's not
you
needed.
You simply need to wash it in warm water for, a few minutes, whatever.
Yes.
A few seconds, but just to get the outer coating. A lot of times with fruits, they coat it with a wax.
Right.
That helps melt the wax away, get it off. But also, when you're cooking and you're, meal prepping, keep your meat away from your fruits and vegetables.
Hello.
Yes. Get that better closer.
Yes. Wash your hands after you get to touching that meat.
People come to my house sometimes and they're like, I have
supposed to do that.
My gloves, my not surgical gloves, but my
Understood.
non-latex nylon gloves, and I get those suckers on when I'm handling my meat and take them off so that I don't cross-contaminate.
Yes.
Cross-contamination, that's what kills. I honestly think a lot of the food alerts that we get come from just people mishandling their foods.
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct. And one of the things that people do not understand is when you properly wash your hands, you have to do it for at least 15 seconds. And I tell everybody,
yes, that is true.
Happy birthday song or your alphabet twice will do it. The other thing is when you wash your hands, make sure you wash both sides and your nails. You got to front and back and your nails. These are critical things.
That people don't
and people just miss.
I be in the bathroom washing my hands. I see people that just walk through. I see people that stick their hands in the water, do like this. I'm like, look.
I don't want to talk about nasty people today because
sorry,
I saw something yesterday. But I'm not.
Did you
I'm
see
not
that
going on a
YouTube
tangent.
video or whatever with the little boy that was all digging?
Digging all in his backside.
Not just like lifting his drawers. Like, no, I got to shift a little bit. No,
he was
digging.
after something. He was after something.
like something was stuck and he was getting it out. It was nasty.
He was after something. Check this out. Okay, so according to RollingStone.com, RollingStone.com has given a Politics 2020 Democratic primary leaderboard. In other words, who so far people that may have reached out to them, or statistically speaking, who would be a viable candidate against Donald Trump. All right, so not anybody. Not anybody. No, we don't need anybody. No, we need anybody. Come on in, Mo.
Come on in, Mo. I need you to lift that finger up. Like like you're in church. Lift your finger up. Yeah, there you go.
Good morning, Mo.
Good morning, Mo.
How you doing? Fine. How you doing? All right, so check this out on RollingStone.com really quick. I'm just gonna name a couple of candidates and we're gonna move on with the show. Okay. Okay. So real quick, let's see. We have, of course, Elizabeth Warren. She has announced that she is running for president against Donald Trump. So she's going for the primary in 2020. Of course, Kamala Harris announced her 2020 candidacy on MLK Day. Okay, let's see. Sherrod Brown is a likely. Okay, so Sherrod Brown, he's a senior citizen from Ohio. So he's talking about running for president as well. Right now, the rankings, they have him listed at number 6 on the totem pole. Elizabeth Warren, number 8. Kamala Harris, actually number 1. Wow.
Look,
I was surprised by that.
She's my current fave.
Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah.
He's a possibility, ranking number 3. Our boy Joe Biden. Okay. He's at number 2. All right. So out of all these candidates,
so let's take those first 2 and make them a ticket. Boom, done.
This is gonna be interesting because each one of these people, I think with the exception of maybe Elizabeth Warren, she not a punk, but it's just like with Elizabeth Warren.
There's some controversy there. I like her, but I'm not in love with her.
I just want to be a senator. That's all I want to do. I think that's what I want.
I don't think you could call him punk, because Biden ain't no punk.
That's why none of them. I'm thinking any of them.
Oh, you saying they're not?
No. Any of them are. No. I said like Elizabeth Warren. She's not a punk. She stands up to Trump with her hair flying everywhere. So she don't. But I don't see, because when I look at a president, let me tell you, and I know I shouldn't do this, but I remember growing up. Who was president growing up, I think, was Ronald Reagan. And I'm not, at the time, politics really wasn't that much, as an issue in our household as far as children were concerned. Adults would discuss it. But what I remember was this man who was kind of statuesque. You have an or no matter if you're a good president or not, you could be presidential in your appearance. And that's what made me like, I think I want to be president when I grow up. That kind of deal. And so when Bill Clinton became president, I was like, okay, this is a president. This is like, okay, I can see myself, actually, feeling good in the country about what's going on. And even then with President Obama, I'm like, okay, this is a president. This is what I've been looking for, And so you look for somebody in a candidate, that one day you can look at your kids and say, this person's in the history books. This president was a good president. This president is, the person that helped change this, helped change that. Not just out to get anybody because they mad about a wall.
Not like we got now.
And you threaten to try to take the use your capability as a president.
I'm still killing over this emergency process. I'm like, I'm sorry. But this is not an effing emergency.
Do you know how
this
many
is
people,
your booty ass feelings getting hurt.
Well, this it's a lot of people, and I don't understand, but it's really a lot of people are concerned about Mexico along the Texas border. I for one think
And I don't know
that
why
Mexico
now.
is one of the best countries you could visit. Yes, they have their issues, but I love to be able to cross the border, you know,
Don't
with
we
no
have our
problem.
issues?
You know,
Don't we
and,
have our issues?
you know, go get some tequila and come right back. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You know, that
Right.
kind of deal. You can't really do that no more. You know, and he's just messing it up for a lot of people. But anyway,
Well, he's
presidential candidates.
messing it up for both countries, is what he's
Well,
doing.
I mean, you know, he's putting us in a cocoon, and that's not good for America.
No.
You know.
No.
But anyway, Democrat presidential candidates. Mo,
Yeah.
hey,
Man,
you do eat your Snicker?
No.
What mind that?
It was 2 for 1 and Asia was walking up.
Presidential candidates, Mo. What you got? Do you have any thoughts on maybe? You know, no,
I
right
don't think
now.
Miss Harris can do it.
Mm-mm.
They're gonna bring her background.
They're gonna bring
Yeah.
up her past
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
prosecutor.
And they're gonna kill her. Well, no, not the prosecutor part. Remember, you know, people are emotional when they vote and when
Right.
they look for their candidates.
And because her mother is
Asian.
Jamaican, her mother's Asian, her
Her
father's
father's
Jamaican.
Jamaican.
They already bringing up her
You-
viability as
As
a
a
U.S.
citizen.
even though she was born here.
But you would think that would be a good thing because Asians always vote that Republican bloc.
Yes, they
So
do.
they're against her.
Yes,
and then
they
she's
do.
half black. So Asians will tell you in a minute that's just not a good
Mhm.
you know, so. And then the white people are going to say, okay, she's married. She doesn't have any children. She's married. The black women are going to say she's married to a white man. She can't win for losing.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and see that, and that's what concerns me about
Mhm.
us voting and the way people. Now, granted, everybody has the right to vote in their own way,
Mhm.
but you're going to use something like that to hold it against somebody. Because if you took that same mirror and projected it on yourself,
Right.
where would you be at?
Mhm.
Where would you be? And
I need people to start looking more at substance and not the superficial.
right.
That means they would have to read.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
people to
That
read.
is true.
I
Yeah.
need people to educate
Got to
themselves.
read.
Yeah.
Got
And
to read, Mo.
quit trying to let other people educate you.
Right.
That's you. You educate your damn self.
Well, and I know some people will look at her her as a prosecutor and how hard she was. However, you have to look at the evolution of a person as well.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
look at the evolution, when she first started out, just like anybody does in any career, you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to get in. You're trying to, you're trying to carve out your own path. Now, granted, when she first jumped in as a prosecutor, as a DA, oh yeah, she was belligerent. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you look at her track record, I mean, she was killing them. However, as she grew and evolved, her whole stance changed. And this is one of the things I think people forget is that when you have anybody running for office, first and foremost, they are a person. They're going to have flaws. They're going to have shortcomings.
Mm-hmm.
That is always going to be true. However, look at the entire person. Look at their entire career. And look at the progression she's made throughout her career. And, then the other thing, that people, I know she's going to have a huge voting block because, she's an AKA from Howard.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, she's an AKA from Howard.
I'm glad you said that, and even though it's not break time, I'm gonna take us to break early so we can have more time to discuss our next segment.
Okay.
Because our next segment is gonna be good. We're gonna be talking about the high school Minnesota basketball team that withdrew from the tournament. Well, we know they was holding up the Trump flag on because the tournament was on MLK Day.
Right.
Yeah, that's when the tournament was. And then we're gonna also talk about the GM workers suing GM for bullying, bullying, racism, and all this kind of stuff that's going on in the GM plant out there in where is that? Ohio? That's not Ohio.
Michigan.
Michigan.
It
It's
happens
in
right
Michigan.
here in
It's
Texas.
the one in Arlington.
So yeah, so I'm gonna take Mo's break so Mo, you can finish your Snicker. Yeah. And real quick, again.
$40 an hour, you can bully me all you want.
And on that note, today we doing music. Today we doing line dance music. So if it's a line dance, I know I'm gonna see if I can get up and do it or whatever case it is.
Okay.
But if it's not one that I know, I'm just gonna kind of bob my head and shake my head in the seat. Real quick, 5-minute break. One of the me and Miss Sunshine yesterday battled over this song because I was trying to find this song.
We
K
found it at the
Wayne
same time.
by Kaya. The K Wayne by Kaya. I love to see people do that dance.
Oh,
No
beautiful.
joke.
That's a complicated dance.
Yeah,
And then
it's
Booty
beautiful.
Work by T-Pain.
Oh,
That's
I like
my jam.
that one. Oh,
Booty
yeah.
Work. We'll be right back in just a second.
Oh,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah. It's
So
okay.
you don't know no line dances, Mo?
Not those.
Okay, I think I know this one.
I know.
That's
Miss
a
Charm.
complicated one.
Can we get just a little volume in here? Okay, let
Just a
me
little
see.
bit.
Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Miss Sunshine, you know this. Come on,
No,
do
I
it.
don't.
Yes,
I
you
never
do.
did. I was the one sitting on the sideline going, oh. Because I'm like you. I don't have all that coordination.
I don't know if I'm seeing. So Facebook can see me. And yes, I'm dressed all the way down today, so whatever.
I lost them.
Okay, let me see.
I don't know where it went.
Okay, I'm trying to think about it.
Why do y'all think about it? Just do it.
No, because you gotta make sure you do it right.
Crisscross and
Okay.
dip. Crisscross dip.
Do you know how to do it, Miss Charm? You know how to do it?
Say, so you know, this is an area where I will have to sit back
Okay.
and digress because you know, Hendrix can't dance.
I mean, y'all need to do a split screen. And
I don't know. I can't remember.
You do that?
Well, not
You got
not in
crisscross
the middle.
dip.
One of y'all, okay, who on Facebook know how to do it? Who on Facebook know how to do it?
Like I said, I watch and I go, God, I want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that one? Oh, yeah, I got that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, crisscross dip.
Girls.
You gotta show your
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, I remember. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get
It's
it.
better when you have a group of people because you always have some people
Somebody
that kind
to
of know
look
it,
at.
and then you got somebody who really knows it.
Huh? Okay, yeah, I think, you know, do it. Miss Charm know how to do it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in this one. Yeah. Okay.
Miss Charm, no.
Ah.
See ya.
Oh, yeah. Okay. See, yeah. Thank you, Miss Charm.
Yeah, so yeah.
I think I gave that one up, so.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna get back into it. I ain't been to the club in like 15 years.
I was gonna go today, but
Can I borrow your water bottle to point it up?
You wanna go to the club today?
yeah.
You.
But see, when I go to the club, the last few times that I have been, the last 2 years that I have been, I've been going to a Latin club because, you know, I've been doing salsa, merengue, bachata, and been doing any line dancing.
Well, I tell you what.
You know how many years your party?
Y'all can dance all y'all want.
I'm just gonna tell you that.
You gonna be a wallflower.
2 wine coolers and y'all gonna be like, get her off the floor.
I like to dance.
No, we
Now,
gonna-
when I get into it, I
Oh.
really like to go on and dance. I will dance because I can dance.
It's gonna
Look.
be more than wine cooler.
No,
Oh,
this is
I'm
TV.
sorry. Yes.
And what is he saying in this song?
You know
Booty
what?
work. Let me see your booty work.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah. Let me see your booty work, booty work, booty work, booty work. You know what kind of household did you? Oh well, you know what? This is when we was acting a fool.
Yeah.
Because this is when I.
Yeah.
What was you doing? You was being grown somewhere.
This wasn't that long. This was like 2008.
Yeah,
or so.
something like that. Yeah, because not that old.
Yeah. Now we said 11 years ago ain't that old.
Look,
When is our next reunion? Is 2017? I mean, oh Lord, 2027?
I don't even
27?
know.
2027?
So
I guess we
God,
have our
dog.
25th anniversary coming up. Doesn't that sound crazy?
Mhm.
I remember when we had our 20th, we actually did an anti-reunion reunion. Nobody went to the coordinated one. We all went to
A bootleg one?
just a side. Yeah, because I'm like, who wants to pay $75 to mix and mingle with people you may or may not have liked? So we all just hung out at the bar, you know,
Well, you know,
passing through.
well,
Hell,
you know,
I
when
hung
you
out
go-
with people that I went to elementary school with.
You know, when you go to a black school, Miss Sunshine, we gonna pay to see that jackass who we don't like. Just in
No.
case, yeah, we gonna do that because just in case you might decide to hit his ass upside the head one time. Or I mean, he's just the truth. But you just to look at his punk ass from what you know, just because he was a punk bastard. You know, you just want to look at him sometimes.
Hey, well, here's the other thing. You gotta realize, if two grown people going at it, it ain't gonna. It's let's figure it out.
Right.
Let's figure
Absolutely.
it
Now, see,
Absolutely.
my neighborhood
It's not
has
like that, my mom, but I'm
Really?
my neighborhood. We have a Facebook page. My neighborhood. That's how close and tight we are.
Okay, Hendrix, we got Miss Peaches. Hey, Miss Peaches, she says, are you gonna have line dance songs at your party?
Yeah, he said he would.
Okay.
You put that deposit with that DJ, you can put anything you want. Shit, you want to have Whitney Houston back to back. And I saw that AMG Mercedes in the front, and you know what I said?
What you say?
That damn Hendrix had got a new car for his birthday. I said that ain't right. And then I parked. And I said, oh, there's his other car. His
1
other
minute.
car.
I'm tired of you.
But you know I didn't say nothing about your watch.
And you just did. And you just did.
But what?
And you
Hey,
just did.
Mo.
I thought I
Mo,
was
you
doing something
just-
when I got an Invicta.
Mo, you just.
I thought I was something when I got an Invicta. I was like, yes.
Are you
That
just?
brush rose gold. I thought, look, baby, you showed me that. I threw the phone up and sit down.
Stand by. You know what?
I can't get the
Look, you
one.
missed it. We were
female.
talking. I'm like, after I saw the watch, I'm looking online at Louis Vuitton. It's like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I can't spend that much on some shoes.
I thought I was doing something. I got a
4,
Patricia Nash
3,
bag for
2,
179. I thought I was doing something.
1. You are live.
Hey.
Well, Mo, we've been live on, you know. Welcome back, everybody, to the MashThaGas Talk Radio Show. This is your boy Q. Everybody, Most Swag is now in the building, so my whole crew is here. Listen, if you want to join the conversation, 214-717-4827. And listen, again, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Snapchat as well. Real quick, before we, and Mo and Hendrix over here on the sidebar,
Because he getting excited.
Oh.
you get, what happened? What we got?
Okay, so what excites me?
Oh, yeah, I seen
Traveling
that already.
and
Look,
time
that make my bro
That's
jealous.
I'm saying. Now after a certain age, we were supposed to stop saying watches. Now that's what my uncle said.
What
After
do you call them?
Timepieces.
Timepieces?
After a certain age, is after a certain price point.
Is that what that is?
The price point, baby. So at 9, you can still say timepiece when it's a. Let me just throw it out there. If it's an Invicta or if it's a Rolex.
Yes.
Oh, Movado.
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 Yes.
And you know, one thing that you talking about timepieces, International Watch Company. That's a low key one.
Yes.
That everybody don't know about.
Yes.
And they got some cold
They
ass
really
watches.
do. I
Some
seen
cold
cold.
ass watches. But
Maybe I'll give me one.
Wait, Miss Sunshine
And leave
taking
my
notes.
Fitbit behind.
That Fitbit worked for you.
Because you know, you're working.
Yeah.
Real quick, so I just want to mention this real quick. This is an article that's by Fox 4 News.
Fox 4 local?
No, Fox 4 News in Kentucky.
All right.
A 10-year-old Kentucky boy allegedly died by suicide after he was reportedly tormented at school for wearing a colostomy bag.
Mm-hmm.
And real quick, I'm not going to go into too many details, but he was born with an unspecified bowel condition and endured 26 unsuccessful surgeries to survive. So he had to wear a colostomy bag, and children were bullying him about his colostomy bag because of the smell, and he reportedly killed himself.
Okay, one. Let me take this.
Wait a minute, Mo. Hold on. Let me say this real quick. If you have a loved one feeling distressed or anything of that nature, any kind of mental illness or anything of that nature that you think may be considered suicidal, make sure you can reach the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-8255, or text 741-741. Also take a look as well. You can definitely Google in your local areas as well, because definitely you don't want to have someone no matter what age, thinking about suicide, just get them some help. So Mo, go ahead and
everything I've read about that, I didn't hear anything from the parents. Did you? What did the daddy say? What was the daddy's?
Well, the mother, it says, according to the article, his mother says that the school district failed her baby because the family reportedly plans to take legal action against the public schools. But what happens is that they have been reporting this constantly to the principal of the school. And so because they did not, quote unquote, do something, or allegedly did not do anything to assist this child at his school, he committed suicide. Now it does not say how he did.
It doesn't matter. But what did the daddy say?
What, Mo? It didn't say anything about his dad. It says it's something about his mom speaking out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but
okay, let me tell you this. Now, I don't know much. You know what, Miss Sunshine? You can tell us this. The day that somebody bullies my child it's not going to be a good day. And the day that I report it and nothing is done, then we homeschool. Point blank, end the period.
Okay.
So what's the problem? So you gonna now sue the school district?
But
because they didn't do what they're supposed to do. You are your child. You tell me, Miss Sunshine.
Okay.
Well,
you are your child's biggest advocate.
correct.
Okay.
So if they don't take care of the problem, I'll take care of the problem. Is that not how it's
I don't know what all the details are because it's my first time hearing this story. But homeschooling isn't an opportunity that everybody has.
How not so?
Well,
Financially,
it's expensive,
and maybe she is a single parent. Maybe she is the only income in the family. I don't know, but unless there are some resources that you can gather, which maybe there are, I don't know, but of course I would have been at the school until it got resolved, and if it didn't get resolved, then I would be at the superintendent's office looking for alternative avenues, maybe going to a different school in the district, something.
See, I don't understand that. Why would you send your child back to the place where they're getting bullied? Because you do have other avenues, like you said. They could have had a teacher come by that house. I don't understand. That's why I said, what did the father say? Because the mother, well, I only heard what the mother said. Something and there's two sides. What did the father say?
Well, like I said, maybe the father's not there. Maybe the father's deceased. Maybe the father is not in the picture.
What the father got them family members? See, y'all talk about it takes a village. Hell, it takes a village and then some. Well,
but then, but everybody is because I completely agree with you. I think that more tougher love, with these children and being a little bit more honest with them, because that's kind of more your perspective on how you would do it. But Mo, you got to think about this though. I don't really care what options you think you have as a parent. If your child have suicidal thoughts or some kind of something, it doesn't have to be something visible like a colostomy bag. It could be something as small as I'm not developing like my classmates, or something's wrong with me. I don't understand. I mean, anything could happen. And you can be doing the very best that you can. But in situations like this, the mom is saying, look, we've said this to y'all. We've asked for this. We've asked for whatever provisions, because I'm sure they may have had some provisions, but I just believe that it's her grief talking. Should the school district be responsible? We'll let a court decide that. But, I just think that, in cases like this, we have to definitely, of course, be sensitive, because we definitely send our prayers to them. But, you just really don't know how you're going to handle that kind of circumstance, Can
I say something?
Yes, sir.
Real quick?
Yeah.
Look here. I was a victim of bullying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you, like my mom told me,
Mm-hmm.
number one, you tell the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You tell your parents. And at that point, my mom, dad had a conversation with the teacher and the principal.
Right.
And my mom specifically told me in front of them, if this child messes with you again, pick up a brick and knock the shit out of him. And she told them this in front of the principal and my teacher.
And that's a good way to get their attention and go,
And
we don't want that kind of violence, so we're going to handle this.
And guess how many times I got bullied after that? None.
But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it worked so well. You said who was at the meeting?
My mom and my dad.
That's right.
My mom and my dad.
Thank you. That's what happens. when you got two of them there, they take a whole different situation than just a mom there. I'm just telling you.
Well,
That's society as a whole. I'm sorry. Y'all don't have to be married, but you do have to have a front.
Yeah.
Oh, now that I agree with.
Now, so if
Absolutely,
he's not there, he's dead, he's whatever. So you take your mom and an uncle, your mom and a grandfather, your mom and somebody else.
Absolutely.
But and here's the thing. The other part is that as parents, we have to make sure that your children are not the bulliers or the aggressors of bullying too. Because honestly, sometimes children don't always know that they're being a bully.
Right.
They don't always know that they're being a bully because I was bullied, and then on the other end, I was actually the bully. And I didn't even realize I was being a bully. I thought I was just being funny, being a class clown, and didn't really think of the impact that I was having on that other student.
Right.
However, when it was called to my attention, and it's like, well, you're being a bully, it's like, what? I'm just making, little jokes here and there. I didn't realize the impact.
Where's my toilet paper?
Toilet paper, Mo?
That's what I picked up on the way out. My toilet paper to blow my nose.
Oh, goodness. And with that being said,
Next subject.
Next subject. We're moving on.
This is my question to y'all after I read this story, okay?
Oh, I have so much on this story.
Okay, basketball team quits MLK tourney after their fans flaunt a Trump flag. A high school basketball team in Minnesota has come under fire and is now pulling out of a tournament scheduled for Martin Luther King Day after its fans displayed a Trump 2020 flag during a game against predominantly black inner city schools. Real quickly here, according to Michael Walker of the Minneapolis Roosevelt High School, in a Facebook caption, please explain how and why is this appropriate at a basketball game. The post was accompanied by a photo showing a group of Jordan fans who, aside from one black student sitting off to the side, are all white and displaying the Trump 2020 Keep America Great flag. I coach a predominantly black inner city school team, Walker said. We go out to a rural area in Jordan, Minnesota, and it's there. Okay, so real quickly here, some of the parents of the children of the Trump flag simply said real quick she owned the flag, that she was just claiming that this flag, of course, was just expressing that who they're going to vote for in 2020.
But these are middle school students.
No, this is high school.
Okay, I'm sorry. High school students.
It doesn't matter. It is school.
Yes.
It is school, and no politics need to be
in school.
Okay,
in school. Now hold on. I honestly feel it might have been different had they been wearing t-shirts or the stupid MAGA hats. But this was a flag. This was intimidation. This was deliberate. This had nothing to do with the students supporting their president. This was bullshit.
And here's the other thing. You got to remember something. When you're in an inner city and you go to a rural area, what's the predominant population of most rural areas?
White.
Yes, white.
That's cold. When they say rural,
This
white.
This is one of the things they call a dog whistle. Showing your racism and trying to be, you're blatant with it, but it's real discreet. But everybody knows what it is.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, but racism exists, and some people are ignorant to the fact, and some people, it's just like what the Bird Box, they don't want to see it.
Right.
It is what it is. It's racism, because that has no place at a high school basketball tournament.
Okay.
At all. There's no place for that. Now, if you're at a rally, you're at something, a campaign drive or something like that, fine. But a high school basketball tournament? No. It's strictly intimidation, and you're trying to get in the heads of people. And that's all it is. Because, Q, just like I do, we had them games way out in Odessa.
Yeah, we did.
Now, we coming from a predominantly black high school to go way out there, and I'm sorry, you should have seen how many Confederate flags were out there.
Yeah.
And that's when y'all were going to school, right?
Yeah. This is in the 90s.
90s, yeah.
So I'm sorry.
And when we get off the school bus, they make us go on the regular side of the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Go in, and they will have this huge, wonderful grand entrance, you know, for their people. And you get to the school. When you get to their school, they'll give you the water that's not cold.
Right.
You know, you could tell. I mean, you could just like, oh, okay, well, let's play this game.
Yeah, and get out of here.
You know, let's go. You
Yeah.
know. Mo, what you got? Because I mean, you kind of have a look on your face. You ain't got nothing, Mo.
Well, okay. Initially, I was like, you know, why? Yeah, I wouldn't have them play in the tournament. Why would you do that to the kids? And then I started thinking about it. Why not? They need to see it up close and personal. See, instead of listening to damn rap music, they ought to understand that there's a second stanza to lift every voice and sing. That they don't need to celebrate Black History just doing damn February. But see, you got you got colored kids right now who just think everything is kumbaya. This is a slap in the face to them. That's what they need, is a wake-up call.
Well,
they think everybody should live together. It's 2017. We should all be together. No, it's not like that. I mean, this is very real in our society. Those Make America Great hats ain't nothing but what they wear in the daytime and their hoods on the weekend.
It's the new white hood.
It is. And I tell the kids in school, because I'm in a rural area, like, you're not supposed to wear your hoods walking down the hall. And I was like, hey, don't wear your hoods. You know, take off your hood, take off your hood. And then I had to tell him, and then in class, I was like, take off your hood. And one guy was like, it's just a hood, I'm being a thug. I said, no. I said, no, you're not. And he was not of a rural origin. So I told him, I said, so the guy who was a rural origin, I said, hey, tell him to take off his hood, and that's only on the weekends with a bonfire. When I tell you they all went pale when I said that.
Wow, did you really say that to your class?
Come on, baby.
Oh, okay, of course you said.
No, because, I'm telling you to take off the hood. You're not listening. I'm telling you why you need to take off the hood.
Absolutely.
Because this is a place of learning. You do what you want to do on the weekend at the bonfire with your friends and family. I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I respect it. You know why I respect it? Because just like you got the hoods on the weekend, we got some on the weekend too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's talked about, and I hate that we always say white people are racist, and I always have to go this with students. We have to define racism versus prejudice. Prejudice, you prejudge someone.
Right.
Racism is you would think one race is better. And these kids clearly, with the Make America Great people, the MAGA people always think their race is better.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine if you want to think that. But I got statistical information and backing it. That just ain't the case. They're not asking for your DNA cells in AfricanAncestry.com.
Right.
They're not asking for that. They don't need your cells. Your cells ain't doing nothing. You're not Henrietta Lacks. You're not curing cancer.
Right.
So just understand that this was a slap in the face, and it should have been. Stop listening to your damn rap music with your beats on and start listening to something. Start listening to Malcolm X and get a spine.
Well, and here's the other thing. And Mo, I can agree with you. However, there's a part that we also have to look at. The other portion is that we also have to look at the fact that we have a lot of people that are trying to come together, that are trying to unite and make things kumbaya.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a small population that resists against it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that you have to understand. It's not every white person.
Right.
Every white person is not like that. It's not the case. However, there's a few. But then you also have to know how to handle yourself in those situations. But we can't just say all white people. We can't do that.
That's true.
We cannot do that, because that's the same approach that the small group is taking. All black people are this, all brown people are this. You cannot do that. However, you have to teach your kids when they're in those situations how to deal with it. Because honestly, I would have loved to go to that high school tournament with Jay Sass, and Rec Shop, back in the 90s when we were, we had, Kimball won state to state back to back.
Sure did.
I would have loved to go to that same high school with them. Make America. Okay, you gonna do that? We're gonna show you something on this court.
Obviously, because that's what we would have done back then. Because, and now Mo, I have to agree with you. Now
It was the white school that pulled out.
Right.
But yeah, I know. But what
the white school, but most of the players on the team were black.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They were black.
Most of the players on the team were black.
Now, let me say this real quick. If if you know your history as a black person, you will know that the NAACP was started by white people.
Mm-hmm.
If you know your history as a black person, you will know Spelman was named for and started by a white person.
Right.
So what I said to you, I agree with you saying. I agree. You can't say all in any situation, and all white people are not bad.
Right.
But resistance, resistance is futile. They are going to die off. They are not that important. And what we need to do is the Aryan Brotherhood, your ABs who are in the rural areas, because they have felonies, because they can't get housing, you just ignore them.
And here's what trips me out. Here's what trips me out about most racist people. They end up with kids that are biracial. I know
kids and grandkids.
Yeah, kids and grandkids that are biracial.
Baby,
I know that just
I run into more people. I'm like,
you,
how do you have a cousin who's and I know you at the bonfire every weekend.
At the bonfire.
That's what they call. I swear for God.
I know.
They call it. I never knew it was called a bonfire until I started. They were like, yeah, we're going to a bonfire. So I asked one kid. I said, you going to a bonfire? He's like, no, ma'am, I will not go to that bonfire. I said, what kind of bonfire? I said, I don't want to know.
Wow. Real quick, and let me see what we got. We got about 10 minutes, and because I think we can start, we got another topic to talk about. I agree with you, Mo. I think that with certain things, because a lot of parents shield their children from reality. Some people, they say, well, I just want, I pray over my kids, and I want my kids to be covered by the blood of Jesus. And if you want your kids to be covered by the blood of Jesus, then you trust in that same blood of Jesus.
Jesus ain't got no more blood. It's all drained.
You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is you use your faith to take care of your children. If you're going to rely heavily on God, then you trust God to take care of your kids. And so in instances like that, because when we were growing up, our parents were not as attached. We could go and do different things, and when we will run across different things, like we talk about in Odessa, or when we would go with John Tyler, out there, in that school is out there way tucked away in Tyler, but surrounded by number woods. No joke, And so when you face these situations, it taught us, hey man, this is not the world that we thought. We knew. You know what I'm saying? This is not this ain't it. And wait a minute. Prairie View alone. Come on. What's around PV? PV's the only the universe is the only thing black thing in Prairie View. I mean, Waller Hempstead.
That's why that Sandra Bland death hurt me to the core, because I was her. I've gotten stopped. I've gotten stopped by cops. Let me tell you what one dumbass cop said. He said, I wasn't supposed to. He said, I couldn't find my insurance thing because, you get stopped, you're nervous. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure you got insurance because the car not paid for. I was like, okay. And I was like, my daddy always paid for my cars.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Because I'm going to be honest with you. That old 290?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got pulled over. Cop asked me specifically, how can you afford a car like this and you're not a drug dealer? Even though I had a big A&M symbol on the back of my car. Right. How can you afford a car like this and you're not a drug dealer?
Wow.
Yeah.
And the bad part is, it wasn't even a fancy car. It was my Ford Explorer. Yeah. And I just happened to have some 20s on there. How can you afford this?
It was bad. It's bad.
Let me tell you. My freshman year, when I got my first overpayment, I got to pay it back. I got my first overpayment, Mo. Yeah. And I went and I bought me my first pair of Jordans. Now, I knew I wasn't supposed to buy them damn shoes, but I went and bought them anyway because I had never had a pair of Jordans, and I ain't buy another pair until I got grown. Right. Anyway, red and white Jordans, the red split, with the red side, white side with the little button on it, and then you got Jordan across in the shoes, whatever. Real nice Jordans.
Jordan 13s for those that know.
Yeah, them.
Jordan 13s.
So anyway, Mo, walking, class, late night. Well, it wasn't late. It was walking from class, so it was maybe like 6:30, 6:45, something like that. Stop by MSN, give me something to eat, walk into the dorm, or whatever. Walk back to the village, actually. Not the dorm. get the banks or whatever the case is. Right before, because where it sit, they had construction in front of it, so you had to walk all the way around, go in the street, and then come up to the front door. Kind of go around, then come up like that. And I'm walking around the street because I can't go through the construction. Police stopped me, pulled up on the street right in front of banks. It was like, whose shoes you take? I just had, a report that a student had some Jordans missing. I said, well, I got the receipt in my pocket that I bought these. And he was like, oh, so you gonna be a smart ass? And I was like, today I am. You have a good night.
Yeah, you want to be a dumbass.
And so, and I, for those who know me, I've always been sarcastic. My mother tells me all the time that, I need to watch my mouth with a lot of things I say. But see, I feel like, everybody should have and use common sense. But everybody don't do that. And so
common sense is not common.
So these little areas in Texas like Hempstead and Waller and what's the one? Vidor, Orange, Texas. Hey, look, wear your Manta hats, all this kind of stuff. We still love you, but we ain't stopping in your city.
Nope.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now,
we ain't stopping. We're gonna keep driving.
We were on
right on through there.
We were on our way to a NSBE conference at LSU, and we ended up stopping in Vidor. And we stopped at McDonald's.
I learned the hard way too.
Yeah, we stopped. Now this is not like a little bus. We were on a RV type bus, right? And it's full of black engineering students. We stopped at the McDonald's, and they tell us you might want to get out of town before the sun go down. This is in 2000. 2000.
But see, the problem with that is y'all coming from A&M, right? They told us at PV, on your way to New Orleans for the Classic, on the way to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, do not stop in Vidor. They're like,
right.
If you don't have no gas, coast your ass. If you're in Vidor and you're driving with other people, they get pulled over, you pull over. That's what they had to tell you at orientation.
Right.
Especially for the students out of state. We were like, what?
Yeah, and the bad part is A&M is only 45 minutes north of Prairie View.
Right.
So for us to be going, because we, predominantly white institution, we had a couple races here and there, but the most of the population at A&M got along fine, But then for us to be driving and on a bus and for this to happen in 2000, we were like, what are you? And then we look up, and because we weren't paying attention, we look up and there's a middle school right across the way. Big Confederate flag flying. We go right down the road where the high school is. Big Confederate flag flying. Then we start looking around. It's like, oh, shit. Yeah, we need to. And we got ghosts. You have never seen. What do you call them? The vans? I mean, not the buses.
The charter buses.
Charter buses. Thank you. I appreciate that. The charter bus, you have never seen a charter bus get unloaded and loaded with that many people so quick. Because I guarantee, I'm telling you right now, it took us 2 minutes for everybody to get off the bus and for everybody to figure it out and get back on the bus, and we was gone.
Easy pickings.
Because it was like, oh my God, we can't believe this is happening in 2000.
But look, it's 2019.
And it's still happening.
But you know what I like about
the signs are still out there in Vidor coming in and going out of Vidor on I-10.
Well, the one black man they had who lived in Vidor, remember?
Reggie, what was one of them signs? I have to find them.
What Reggie said, if you are black, don't let
sundown catch
you.
Yeah.
But it's okay because Vidor's poor. It's a poor city.
And they're going to stay that
way.
way.
They will stay that way till people know. And then that's why, that movie called The Green Book, where it's telling people where to go and where not to go.
Yes.
Social media tells you not to go to Vidor, not to stop in Vidor.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to break because Miss Sunshine, take us to break. And when we come back from break, we're going to be digging into our poll question. So we're going to be talking about a little relationship stuff when we come back. We lighten the mood a little bit. Because I need to know about this oral sex thing about you. I need to figure out what you talking about.
It ain't that complicated.
Because she talking about it. It's just for people in a relationship. No, the hell it ain't. when you step in the room with me, that's expected.
Okay, well, let's go to break.
Going to break. We're going to hit it off with classic, The Electric Slide by Grandmaster Slice. And follow that up with Can't Get Enough, Tamia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tamia. Oh, Tamia. Oh, my God, Tamia.
Look,
Line dance songs,
don't
everybody.
Don't even talk to
I can do this one. I know this one.
Come on, let's do Let's
I
Slide.
ain't gonna do it. I just know.
So, we have an issue with the signal, and I can't get YouTube to go live, so I just started recording.
Okay.
So,
You put it up.
yeah, I'll put it up later. So, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, sorry. It'll come, but yeah, it stopped. It will not let me broadcast.
See, I begin to think it has something to do with that.
Well, and see, the problem is, I'm not even on Wi-Fi.
I know.
I'm not on Wi-Fi.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. I was actually looking at webcams that do live, but that's as far as I got it. Because I'm like, okay, do I have to use this on a computer? Can I use this with my phone?
Yeah. How much fun we got? Gonna die.
You tired?
You sick.
We got an hour.
Look, we all not feeling our best.
Yeah. We all just, we here though, we made it. But yeah, so everybody asked me, why do you have that one? That was my first watch that my aunt bought me. That's the first watch I bought, and that's the first real watch. Yeah, it's
I bought that.
It opened.
That was my first his and her purchase.
Oh, that's cute.
And that bastard.
Now that one right there, that's my pride and joy right there. That is my pride and joy.
That's what I said.
What is that, Movado?
No, that's a Rolex.
That's a Rolex? Oh, okay.
I never get that one as a birthday gift.
And then those my two Movados. I had to get the round one and the square one. I couldn't figure out which one I wanted. So I got them both.
See, I was trying to be a good woman, so I gave my man an Invicta for his birthday.
I got one of those too.
Guess what?
Come
He's
here.
like, okay, thank you. Didn't start getting excited about it till all the
Watch
guys
out for the cameras,
in the station house. Oh my God, I love you, Invicta. Oh, I love you. He's like, then he looked it up. He's like, wow. I was like, yeah, see, trying to elevate you. He didn't appreciate it until other dudes said, oh, how great is it?
The Armani,
Done playing with your
and then the Citizen. Oh,
Wait a
I got
minute.
it.
What?
But this one,
Is that tight?
that's my baby right there.
When I get,
You wanna dance with Q?
He said no, he don't want to play with y'all. He said he wants his earphones. He don't want to play with y'all old people.
No, he ready to go eat. They were messing around this morning. I'm like, y'all ain't get no food. This all y'all got? Oh, I know what you want. Hold up. Look, I thought that was and then he gonna get me all covered in crackers. Oh.
Oh, on crackers. On saltine crackers this morning.
I just want to go in the bed, go get back in the bed. I'm tired as hell.
Y'all, we all struggling this morning, y'all, for real. We like really.
But we here though.
But we here. These craisins look good in the sunshine, y'all. I'm give me some of these
Go
craisins.
ahead.
Give me a napkin. I want some craisins. I'm hungry. I'm really hungry.
Oh, so my sister, her coworker got an iPhone 10, and she was like, "Ooh, they do motion pictures." I'm like, "Your phone already do that. You don't need." She's like, "It got facial recognition. Your phone already got that." She's like, "I done had this phone a year and I didn't know it could do this." I'm like, You just have to ask your big brother. I take care of you." That's what I need. I need to win a lottery.
I don't know what happened to
what?
look at you got, what happened to the fruit roll-ups?
You said
They're gone.
Y'all ate them already?
Yeah.
Y'all ate the fruit roll-ups.
They ate the fruit
When
roll-ups.
did y'all eat the fruit roll-ups?
We've been here for an hour.
I don't remember giving them to them.
You didn't. They got it.
Look.
You said they was in the bag.
Yeah,
They got them.
you told me it's in the bag. They got the fruit roll-up out of the bag. Dang, it's sunshine.
Look. Y'all gonna have to wait then. I told y'all don't be eating it all at once.
Can you give me my
Y'all had to negotiate. Y'all want some craisins?
Can you give me my
Jesus Christ, it's so
soda
good.
out of my bag.
Yes, I can
Thank
Oh,
do
thank you,
that.
Sunshine. I was gonna close it back.
Shoot, I was gonna dig in.
It's in the big part. Sorry.
What
It's
you
not
need,
like
Mo?
a woman purse.
What's cool?
It's a little ginger ale. Yep, thank you, thank you.
You always sound like
Man,
that.
Tamia and A. Marie.
Mm.
Them two women, have my baby.
Oh, y'all gonna be watching the Soul Train
No.
movie? Kelly Rowland in it.
Yeah. You like Kelly Rowland?
Yeah, well, I might watch that one.
Kelly Rowland, she's last night, I believe.
Why you talking about Glenn? Yeah, about it for.
What about her?
About singing at the Super Bowl. The national anthem.
You want some?
You didn't know?
I don't care.
I mean, you don't.
Close that motherfucker.
Honestly, at this point,
Thank you.
I'm so hurt with the NFL right now. And that missed call,
Man,
my feelings hurt. I'm still a Saints fan though.
all day.
All day, every day. But
Cowboys
Amen.
for life. All day. Y'all can lose every year. I don't care. Still my boys. I ain't ready for Jerry to go though.
Jerry's a problem with the Cowboys. Let me be honest with you.
Jerry gonna die, cowboy.
Jimmy made him tolerable. Howsoever.
Robert Kraft is the only other owner that is known as much as Jerry Jones.
And he hates Trump. He's the reason that Trump didn't get a team.
Who?
Kraft.
Kraft?
3, 2,
Yeah, put your heads back
1.
on.
You are live. Welcome back, everybody, to the MashThaGas Talk Radio Show. Again, this is your boy Q with the MTG crew. Listen, if you've been keeping up with the show, we're going to go ahead and go into our poll questions this week.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me.
Hey, well, there
Go
you
ahead, finish it. Don't be starting nothing, don't be finishing it, Miss Sunshine.
Well,
Yeah, we in the wrong time, wrong place. Go ahead.
Listen, so okay, let's go and deal with get this out in the open. Okay, so 20 of you voted on this poll question on Facebook. Listen, we try to put a couple of poll questions out there every week for you guys to vote. So definitely make sure that you share our questions and make sure that you vote as well. And please feel free to also comment on our poll questions. So from the desk of Q, it says, should there be rules in your bedroom regarding oral sex? Mo, I'm gonna start with you. Should there be rules in your bedroom regarding oral sex, Mo? Do you have oral sex?
I think oral sex is just too much. I don't do stuff like that.
I think she's lying.
Pretty much. A woman never tells. A woman never tells what she does with her man. A woman never tells how good her man is. Because as soon as she tells how good her man is in bed, another woman won. But by virtue of the fact that we've been together for 13 years, hell, you should know. You should figure out. We love sex. You can't be married to me. You can't date me and not like sex. Because you know what that makes you then?
Wow.
An ex.
okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Mo. I appreciate that. Miss Sunshine?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, your comment was a little bit different than Mo's. You said, what your comment was like, you know.
Well, first of all, for me, because I feel that oral sex is a very intimate thing. I think it's more intimate than sex because I think it's more. Look. So therefore, it is not something that is shared with just everybody and anybody. If you're a one night stand, you ain't getting it. You know,
This the part I don't get. And I get people had a different variations of, what to do, what not to do.
well, I know some people, for them, oral sex isn't sex. I'm like, to hell it is. That's some intimate form of sex. So if we together, now if we in a relationship, oh hell yeah, it's going down. It's going down. And if you can't, then we gonna have some talks, because you know, if you can't do it right, try again. Practice makes perfect.
Oh my.
Well,
I don't know about sex. I wish I knew something about sex.
I don't get it, because to me it's like, look, if you laying down with somebody and you sharing your body,
Oh.
then well, there shouldn't be any barriers. So if you're gonna have sex with somebody, to me, you know,
Doesn't the Bible say, preacher, ordained minister, that the marriage bed can't be defiled?
we not talking about necessarily marriage.
Yes, it is. Because
No, it says, should there be rules in your bedroom regarding oral sex? You can't always assume that your bedroom is married.
if two people are having sexual intercourse, they are entwined as one. And how many places in the Bible does it actually speak of marriage going up to an altar? Even Jesus, when he went to the wedding with his mama, he didn't want to go, and she said she needed him to go to turn the water into wine if they ran out. They ran out, he turned the water into
that
wine.
is not what happened.
That's not how that story went, Mo. That is not how that story went, Mo.
Look, I'm going. I ain't
Yeah,
never
you
heard that
You
story in my
confess
life.
that you confess that you don't know Genesis, Revelation. That's all you
I said I know
have.
Genesis and Revelation, and then there are books in between. But didn't she say, come to this wedding? He said, I didn't want to come. Then she said, come to this wedding. He said, all right, I'll come. And then she said, turn the water into wine, because they ran out. She said they ran out of wine. Turn this water into wine. Did they not say that?
No, Mo.
What? Well, okay, let
No.
me go. See, thank God for the little Siri person. Hold on. Jesus turned water into wine.
So you're going to ask Siri about Jesus turning water into wine?
I'm gonna ask Google.
So here's my thing. When you are, if you're gonna share your body with somebody,
Share all of it.
share all of it.
Okay.
Share all of it. I mean, let it all
Let it all out.
Let it all out. Because I mean, you know, hey,
Let it all out.
you know, might as well have fun with it. But I mean, again, that's just me. But you know,
Because I'm like you. I ain't gonna say too much, but I will say, if you're going to be sexual, then get it in. I mean, don't waste time with it. I mean, now I get where Miss Sunshine's coming from. You know, certain intimacy could come from oral sex. I mean, I get that. But if I ain't really trying to be intimate with you, and I done checked you out, and you kind of good by what I can see with my glasses on. With my glasses on.
I'm done with you, Q.
The thing is, because I need to look up close and personal, and my vision is impaired.
Okay.
All of my vision is impaired.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that okay? To be, I mean, do what you do, but don't come in my bedroom thinking that I'm gonna do you and you ain't gonna do me, type deal. Or because before we even get there, it's understood that this is what you and I are going to do to the other person. Because we've already discussed this. So now if it's a one night stand type situation, no, I ain't going down on that. I mean, I ain't just putting my mouth down on cottage cheese type shit. We're not doing that. What I'm saying is if you come in my bedroom, because I don't invite everybody in my bedroom. That's really my sacred place. Honestly.
Right. Understood.
So you come in my bedroom.
So
like
I'm
that.
not talking about a pallet, had a pallet in the bedroom.
No, in my bedroom. In my bedroom, in my bed.
So-
Everybody don't get my, because I like my sheets clean.
Yep.
Okay? So, in other words, I don't need nothing extra, hair follicles, nothing, no DNA in my bed. So, when I invite you to my house, you're important anyway.
Okay.
Like I'm saying, if you go somewhere else and you do your thing, whatever case it is, you come in my bedroom, whatever, expect it to go down. Then that's what I'm
But
saying.
here's my
need
thing.
to go down.
It's like having a Porsche and only doing 40 miles an hour. What's the freaking purpose?
Oh, hell to the no.
Right.
John 2:1-11, New International Version. Jesus changes
Virgin?
water into wine. Version. I know I'm old. Jesus changes water into wine. On the third day, a wedding took place at the Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and the disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding them from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water," so they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from. Through the servants had drawn the water, they knew. That is why he went to that wedding.
That is not what you said.
That's not what you
That
said.
is not what you said.
That's not why he went to the wedding.
You didn't say.
His mama said,
His mama didn't say
come to
that.
the wedding.
No, his
he
mama
said,
didn't
I don't
say
want to
that.
come to the wedding.
No, you embellishing. That is not what that says.
Okay, well, that's
Lost in
2-1 3
translation.
yeah.
No,
Let's
let
go
that
to
go.
one. Let's go to
See, that's the
one.
problem with some of these Christians. They lost in translation. You said it right.
But here's
Mo,
the
that is-
thing.
It's implied. You can say it's implied, Mo.
Right.
That's all I'm
But how is
telling you.
this
That's
is
what
this?
you know, Mary Magdalene was his girlfriend.
That's his wife.
His wife
Anyway,
and girlfriend.
here's my thing, and this is where I have a problem with Christianity. All right, you got this Bible. That number one is not
To the
complete.
You
Bible.
know that.
And then,
I know, right?
Then you go,
Yeah.
you got this man named
Talent.
Jesus, followed around by people named Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, but you in the Middle East. Help me understand
Yeah.
that.
Ain't
And
nobody
then-
named Jamal, Muhammad,
No,
Saeed.
no,
I got you.
none of that. So then with Christianity, you take this same religion, bring it over here to the U.S., and you use that same religion to enslave people and to make them think that slavery is their position. Come on now, people, use your head. I'm not saying that the Bible is not a good tool. It is a good tool. However, if you look at it in its entirety, it's a lot of nonsense in there. And I'm going to just say that.
How do we go from oral sex to...
Because Mo be bringing up old shit. That's how we did that.
Because
Now we
I'm
get back.
gonna tell you, if you're together as one, that's just a marriage. I'm not talking about what an ordained minister that you got to pay him $150 to say 7 or 8 words. I'm talking about 2 people coming together as one in a relationship where they understand it may be sexual, but it may be a meeting of the minds. Sex is sex. Sex is with the organ, right? So whether you hopping up and down on somebody or going down on somebody, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, Mo,
She said
Mo,
hopping
you know
up
what?
and down on somebody.
And I'm
I don't know how you young people do it.
I'm gonna move on after I say that, but real quick, the poll results: 84% says no, it's expected.
Yeah.
16% says yes, we gotta talk.
Who paying bills?
Listen, I don't
No, that's
What
what
about-
determines shit.
you might. That might be a determination because we've already discussed the power of body parts. Let's just
Right.
leave it like that. So we've discussed that before. What I'm saying to you is this: you have to keep in mind that when you're talking about oral sex, that does involve kissing, that involves licking, sucking, anything with your mouth. Okay, that you are engaging with a person. So my thing is this, if you're gonna do it or whatever case it is, I think that you should expect to be satisfied as you want somebody to satisfy you, because that's the way I approach it.
Tit for tat.
Tit for tat.
But
Now,
I mean,
you only got one time not to do me, and I done did you. It's over.
What?
Next subject. From the desk of Q. If you're in a relationship, but you soon realize that it was a mistake, you don't feel the same way about them, and then they tell you, I love you, do you still break up with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
96% says yes, 4% says no. I kind of want to know why the 4% says no, see if it works. I wouldn't want to hold on to nobody if I know the vibe isn't there. But you know what, now with me, and this is just kind of maybe how I'm wired, but if I meet someone, and the vibe is cool, if I don't get, I guess maybe the additional, maybe unction to want to get to know you further, then I cut it off quicker. I don't
waste time.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, and then you getting all caught up in me. And because when you do that to people, you start to be disgusted by them after a while. No matter how pretty they are, no matter how handsome they are,
right?
You start to get disgusted by them. Like, why you keep coming around? Or let me go, let me deal with this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
we all been there before. I just don't understand.
But
why
this is
people want
what
to
I
do that.
told you about women that we've seen out. It's like you can look at her and she look lovely.
Hot.
And then as soon as she opened her mouth, it's like,
Ooh, all kinds of.
yeah,
ugly.
because I'm gonna tell you right now.
Ugh.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been out and about and on dates and stuff, and have ran into well, I wouldn't call them exes, but other women I've dated, and they were looking great. Guys all over them. Like, oh, and I'm just disgusted. The woman I was with was like, well, why are you because I actually know her. And when I tell you, when she opens her mouth, yeah, instant turn off. Instant turn off no matter how good you look. So if you're done with somebody, be done.
Be done with them.
Be done.
Be
Move
done.
on. And everybody doesn't take
Yeah.
everybody doesn't take rejection well. So you have to watch how you get rid of
But
somebody.
if you're up front and honest, it's better for everybody.
Right?
You know that it's like that song actually by Glass Knight in the Pierce. Neither one of us wants to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't understand why people adopt that mentality. I don't want to hurt his feelings, dog. I don't want to hurt her feelings. I mean, look.
It's like ripping a Band-Aid off.
I mean,
Instead of taking your time, go ahead and yank it off.
Just rip
It'll
that
hurt.
shit right off.
Right.
It'll hurt instantaneously, but then the pain will be over a lot quicker.
But then,
Just dragging it out.
because if you don't, then you end up with somebody that you really ain't coming for, trying to be faithful to somebody that you really don't want to be with. Like Mo say, having children by somebody, and then she get mad at you because you didn't want to be with her or didn't want to be with him in the first place, and then it's a whole lot of other kind of crazy stuff that go on. So just
Then
cut
you bring
them off.
rabies
Let them
into the
go.
world behind that stuff.
Right.
Can someone explain to me
go.
why y'all getting to that point? Why don't y'all figure out if y'all like these people anyway? So I was at the Houston's on Kirby on 59 in Houston. Me and this guy, very successful. You would like him. He had all the.
I'm not gay.
You would like all of his major accomplishments.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't like men.
So anyway,
Because that's exactly how you make
Yeah,
it sound.
you made it sound like I'm
well,
gay.
you would like him. Okay,
We would get along.
the ride he was riding, all of the letters after his name.
Why you just gonna say he reminds me of you?
Okay, cool. He reminds me of you. You would love him. So anyway, now, so we're sitting there, and everyone who knows me knows there's only one thing I've ever wanted in life: wife, mother, president, PTA. That's it. Bam, boom, boom. Anyway, so we're sitting there, we're talking. He's like, well, what do you want out of life? I said, I just want to be a wife, mother, president, PTA. He said, well, that's a deal breaker because I don't want to have any children. I said, check, please. Only motherfucking time I ever paid for a meal. Is out.
Okay.
There's no compromise. See, I'm not one of them chicks that maybe I can change him. No, I'm one of them chicks to say, don't waste my time. I appreciate that. And
Have you been like that all your life, or did you go to that
life.
point?
Because I can go to how people go to a restaurant. I don't know what I want to eat. Bitch, you at a seafood restaurant. Pick some seafood. I can't understand it. That's why I like going out to eat with myself because I ain't got to be bothered.
Right.
Or we going to a super salad. A super salad. I don't know what I want to eat, but you let the salad.
Super salad. Or a potato.
I always, make a decision, get off the pot.
Okay.
When I go, and sometimes maybe I was thinking, maybe if I went to the casino, and maybe if I was around the crap staple, I don't know. And maybe if I'm not one of those people that, should I do in the field? Hey, put your money down and let's throw the dice. Anyway,
So
but Mo,
my shit was a little low.
No, but Mo, I see what Mo's saying. For those that don't get it, make your decision. Have your plan in place so you're not wasting your time and you're not wasting the other person's time.
And
That's the better way to look at it.
And if you go out to eat with Mo, please know what you're going to order on the menu before you get to the restaurant.
So they had this thing called Google on your phone. Do
And do it before.
it before you get to the restaurant. Know what you want before you get to the
Going to the
restaurant.
Taste of Texas, talk about, I want chicken. They don't sell no real chicken here. It's all beef. You go and pick it. You get calm down. You go and look at the beef you want. They bring it to your table before it's cooked. You choose it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To tell me, I don't like steak, you know what I say? Go next door to Bed Bath & Beyond, shop for about 2 hours, and I'll be with you later.
Right.
Ain't no way in hell you gonna mess up my meal at Taste of Texas. There's only one in the state of Texas, the best restaurant ever. The only restaurant where you don't know who your damn weight is. Because every time you're talking, I was like, I swear I drank some water. I swear I did. Somebody coming through. They coming through. You don't even know they there. They're walking on water. They
I love that. I love that.
You don't know who you are. I just threw money down for a tip because I said, hell, it was so good, I didn't know. I was so happy.
Mo, because we still got some time in this segment. Okay, but since we
talking about sex again?
no,
We done.
No, let's talk about real quick some quick dating tips, Mo. Now, okay, now, Mo, what do you recommend, Mo? Now, listen to me. Now, Mo. Now, look, Mo. Now, look. We talking about for grown folks, Mo. Okay. Now, in other words, when you answer this question, Mo, don't try not to go over everybody's head, okay? Because everybody ain't where you at, Mo, okay?
Everybody ain't old, okay?
All right, there you go. Thank you. So good places to go on dates. Not my first dates, but what's a good first date to you, Mo? What's a good first date?
Oh, a first date.
A good date. Just to say a good date, not a good first date. A good date. Just say a good date.
Clyde Warren Park when there's music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
You know why?
Oh yeah.
Because you're outside, you got the food trucks, and you ain't got to be dealing with somebody that don't know what the hell they want to eat. Shit, pick a truck.
Pick a truck.
Pick a truck. And then that's the best place to go on a first date.
Absolutely. That's very good.
And then if your woman or your dude doesn't like to sit outside on the grass,
that's good.
You're not for me.
Absolutely.
Because I don't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want no prissy. I don't want no prissy man. I don't want no man who, when he loses his job or gets fired, I don't care which one, and he's talking about, I just don't know how to make it. What? What the hell? What you mean you don't know how to make it? You're going to get out there hustle. You're going to cut some hair. You're going to cut some yards. You're going to call up your friends. You're going to say, can I borrow until a year from now? You're going to work out a payment plan. You're going to work three different jobs. You're going to be a janitor. You're going to open up your business and try to get a contract to clean banks. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're going to do.
Okay.
And that's going to be in the first 5 days if you're not having a job.
Okay. Hendrix, what's a good place? Good place to date?
You know what? It's going to sound, well.
Go ahead, sound corny.
Still what? Still, the restaurant.
Oh!
It's a restaurant called Still?
The sushi place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I don't eat sushi, so I don't know what
Still.
it is.
So it's a nice ambiance.
Okay.
But it's not overly priced. It's real nice. And then you get a vibe because it's like intimate, but it's not so intimate where it's just like you feel like, you know, you claustrophobic or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's a good vibe, and
It's
then
nice.
plus it's like in off Oakline, which means it's kind of in the middle of everything. So if
Okay.
you want to do something later or before or after, it's real convenient for that. Plus, you know, if you don't eat sushi, we probably not gonna have too much because I like sushi.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I don't eat sushi.
Well,
Well,
you're
I
not gonna
love
date.
it.
Hell, he ain't gonna date you anyway.
That's what I'm saying, but I don't.
Well,
that's
see,
right.
They have other stuff.
They have
too,
other
I
stuff
mean,
too. But I mean, they have Chinese food, but they're mainly known for their sushi.
Well, I eat and so she couldn't eat Chinese food, bro.
She could, if that was her choice.
But she got to eat. She have to like sushi.
I don't
No,
know.
this is understood before we go on the date.
Oh, gotcha.
So this is understood. So it's like, and if that's not your place, then you know, do something like Papados. And hold on, wait,
We
hold
can
on.
go every day if you
No.
can help me.
Look, listen. There's a reason Papados. I say Papados because I can get my food that I like because I like my frog legs. I like my boudin balls. I like my beignets. I like all that. And then here's the other thing, because at Papados you gonna find something on the menu you like.
Everybody.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, Papados has some strong ass drinks.
Oh yes. Oh my
So
God.
even if I don't really vibe with you, you know, because I can't drink anymore. But you know, when I can drink, it's like, you know what? Even if I don't like you, I'm gonna get my buzz on. I'm gonna be feeling good with or without you.
Right.
I'm gonna be full and my buzz gonna be going.
Date, Miss Sunshine. Come on.
Look, I'm easy and complex all in one. So
Then you
know,
know what now?
I like parks. I like museums. I love, brunch. I love brunch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Original pancake house.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't been there in years.
You know why I don't like to go? Cracker Barrel.
I like Cracker Barrel food.
I don't like
It's
the-
okay.
I like that food. Let me tell you.
But no.
Let me tell you. I actually went to a Cracker Barrel in Houston, the one that's off of 45 North Houston. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
The Cracker Barrel that's off the freeway, and they got a black employee in there. Go Cracker Barrel. They got a black employee in there.
Tell her, hey, because I ain't going.
Yeah. Wait a minute, she got 2 stars too. I mean, she been there 2 years. Wait a minute, for me, real cool date, Copeland's.
Oh, because you can get that drink.
Do you?
What's that big drink?
Copeland's?
What's that big drink?
Look it up, Mo. You got your phone right there. Look it up.
Right.
Because I got 2 of the glasses at home.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the biscuits. You can drink the drink and eat the biscuits.
Let me tell you, when they closed the
Copeland's
Copeland's in Houston,
Oh my God.
I was
We cried.
sick.
We cried, you know, because
But you know, they have one right here conveniently located in South Lake, Texas.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Look at God. They got a Copeland. It's South Lake.
South
I
Lake.
can't go after night, though.
That's going out there towards Grapevine.
Yeah, you can.
I mean,
you can go to
Grapevine,
South
yeah.
Lake.
That's out there right before Westlake. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
a
used to
good
live out
30-minute
that way.
drive
Mm-hmm.
coming from Plano, about 40 minutes. But it's worth every bit of it. Copeland's has the ambiance. Copeland's, if you go in the day, you know you're gonna be at lunch. If you go at night, they dim the lights and it's cool ambiance. It's not loud.
Crash and
It's
burn.
right there. It's right there, yo. You can have a great conversation.
Crash and burn.
You know, just everything. You know,
Crash
just
and
everything.
Now,
I
if
know.
we
Cute.
go,
It's the crash and burn.
I know.
The
Oh,
big
go
one
ahead.
with
Yeah.
the 2-3 straws on
Yes,
there.
Lord.
Yeah,
if you're gonna talk about a day like that, then I would suggest Dakota's.
Dakota's is good. Yeah.
Yeah, Dakota's is nice.
Yeah.
Now they have the one downtown. I prefer the one downtown, but it's underground. It's right off of Ackerd and I can't remember the cross street, but it's right over there by the Lincoln Plaza. It's right there. You actually have to go and take the elevator down. They have valet parking, and they just have a little sign and a little booth that says Dakota's. And you really can't see this there, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Woo! Yeah,
Man.
that's a good date spot.
My trainer, hey Bo, she says I would actually love to go to the zoo or do a hot air balloon ride for a day. Something exciting and different.
Yeah.
The
You know
zoo,
what?
no, because the
Hot
smell.
air balloon, no. Because if I'm scared of heights, if you're scared of heights, yeah.
You
I
know
don't
what?
mind the zoo, but I mean,
Well, maybe I guess.
I see Becky on there. Becky just had kids. She had twins.
Ooh.
Hey Becky, having twins.
How old?
So Becky trying to get the
kids.
the
They
children
only
to go
like
to the
3
zoo.
days old.
Oh.
3 days old, 4 days
Well,
old.
thank you
Becky,
for
how can you
watching.
text?
Literally, no,
Kids.
literally, they're kids. They're goats.
Oh, God. Oh, that's nasty. I thought she said she had them. I thought she had them out of Wawa.
Oh goodness! And these are the things that
Who
we
needs
end
crash
up.
and burn right now? Somebody needs
Smash
crash.
the
You know
gas.
what?
needs
Can
to
somebody-
crash and burn on that one.
We're going to find out what's in that. We're going to have that next show.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to break.
Yeah.
It's break time. It's women. Actually, we're gonna go a couple of minutes early, and real quick, it's a 10-minute break. Actually, we're doing line dance music, and our next selection is the Cupid Shuffle by Cupid, of course. Same old 2-step by ENT District, and also last but not least, Booty Doo by the
Booty
GS
Doo.
Boys.
Booty
Is that
do.
what?
Booty Doo.
I do not know that one.
You don't know the Booty Doo?
Oh,
Hey.
so when Mo Swag says she doesn't know something, but you don't know something, I do not know that.
But I'm thinking this is one of them songs that was probably played at PV and Gremlin that I did not hear at A&M. And it's probably something that everybody was gigging to at the Gremlin PV game. I was just like, huh? But, you know.
Look, I'm already down 40 ounces of water today. I'm so good.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know it was a line dance song. I saw it on YouTube. I was like, show is.
And we
I was
used to
like,
have this thing we used to do at A&M called an 01 Shuffle.
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just the class of 01. We had our own little dance.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
And it was funny because we took it to we went to a NSBE conference, and anybody that knows NSBE, don't get it twisted. Engineers know how to party and get down. But we was out there doing. Everybody was just in amazement because, like, I can't remember what song we used to do it on, but everybody from A&M hit the floor at the same time, and we were all in sync. That shit was so funny. We had them laughing.
See, I want to do that. I like that.
What? Oh, he just got you.
Loop.
Yeah, got you on a
Throw it
loop.
off. You throw it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, After Party Radio. We appreciate it.
And Relavent. Yeah, that was new to me.
Go Rilla. Go Rilla.
So, okay, so y'all listen. Y'all listen. Facebook, YouTube, y'all listen. So what happened was we was at the MLK parade. Shout out to the MLK parade. We gonna talk about that, man.
Yeah.
We can fill up the rest because I don't have nothing else to show. We through the show.
Okay.
But real quick, so at the After Party Radio, if you guys know, I didn't know that Relavent was the Pink Gorilla. I thought that Relavent was another person. I mean, literally. So Rilla is out at the
mascot.
Yeah, he's a mascot. He was out at the parade, and Relavent almost ran over me on his scooter. I'm like, Rilla, come on, Rilla, get it together. Well, it was really, really fun, man.
We gotta talk about that. We'll talk about that.
I didn't know that Relavent was the, because I asked Montana, I said, where's Relavent? She said, this is Relavent. I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And see, on the Facebook page,
And
it
you
messes
notice
you up.
Rilla ain't out there.
Yeah.
Rilla ain't out there. No,
And
Rilla
what
ain't
messed
out
me
there.
up, well, I
Still
thought
in
it
the
was,
back seat.
I was thinking it was a real person because it said Rilla S. Dean.
Right.
On
right.
Facebook and Instagram, I'm thinking Rilla S. Dean. I'm like, well, maybe that's somebody we had met. Maybe
Right,
it's,
right.
some,
I'm gonna catch your show one day.
right. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, well, I'm just, and we've been here for a year and a half, almost 2 years, and we just now realizing
Who Relavent was.
who Relavent is. That's, boy, I tell you what.
So Miss Chong, can you hear me?
Nope.
No, she jamming in there.
Miss Chong is getting it in,
Go
boy.
Charm, it's your birthday. Go Charm, it's your birthday.
Miss Chong is really
Yeah,
jamming.
I love this song. I can't do the dance, but I love this song.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. What can I eat?
Look, I've had nothing but shrimp and grits on my mind
Oh,
for
that
2
sounds
days.
good. That sounds good.
2 days. I done
Don't
Googled
make
a
me go
half
home
a
and
dozen
make one,
recipes
too.
on shrimp and grits.
No, you know, shrimp more day. My God, I get excited.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. And see, I get the funny appetites and stuff like that.
I love grits though.
I
Right
wanna
now, I
go-
really want some grits.
I want to go to Denver and I want a Denver omelet.
Let's go.
I want to go to Denver and have a Denver
What
omelet
time
so
is
bad.
it?
Well, we're gonna get back in time.
Does he mean Denver?
You gotta work.
Colorado. No. Denver. Have you ever had Denver omelet out of Denver, Colorado, Mo?
I've never been to Denver, Colorado. Only Colorado City in Colorado.
It's different. It is different.
Is it because of the
I like Denver. I absolutely love Denver.
Wait a minute. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't y'all see what I posted about the burrito? The soul food burrito down here at the farmer's market? And he has
Yeah, and I
Let's
still
go to the
ain't had
farmer.
one.
We can go to the farmer's market. It's just right there.
He's got collard greens,
Yes.
fish,
Mm-hmm.
black
Yes.
and
I
burrito.
want all. I can't do it. Shit, damn it.
And you know, you're looking at my face because you know I'm funny like that. Man, with certain stuff, I'm real funny. You start trying to get me soul food on the street, I don't know if I want to eat.
No, but no, he's been recognized. He's been.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because
Food Network.
Yeah.
Food Network.
God, it's been months ago. It's
I mean,
been
I
months
haven't
ago.
really watching.
He wasn't set up the other weekend when I went down. He wasn't set up yet. When I went after the show, he wasn't set up yet. But I heard it. I was looking for him too. But
He good.
Like every year I go to the fair and I stop the collard green lady.
You know what else I've had in
Because
the
those
farmer's
collard greens
market
so
that I
good.
love? Just in case sausages.
Really?
Just in case.
They
And
make
let
their
me
own
tell
sausages?
you, oh my God, they
I
have.
tried some
oh
sausages
my,
now.
they have some really good sausages. Yes, and they have yeah. I haven't had one that I didn't like.
We have to get busy on our project. Like, we got to do it like next month.
Okay.
No, you have to be more excited than that.
I need to
Child
see
is
some more.
hungry. She
I
can't
need
be
to see some
excited.
more. That too.
Get us something to eat.
What I'm going to do is, I'm
I'm
going
trying
to
real hard to be good.
don't be good, be bad. 'Cause you have to be-
so
No, food wise.
they got a
Really good.
lady
Food.
down there, Joy. She does vegan sweets.
I don't want any sweets.
No, but I'm
I
just
want
saying.
savory. That's one thing too. I love candy. Don't get me wrong, and especially when it's that time. I have that craving for sugary, chocolatey, sweet stuff, but for the most part, I am a savory chick. I gotta have.
Okay, go down there to the
spice.
spices, like Indian curry.
Oh yes, love.
Ethiopian.
I love food. There is not a whole lot of food that I have not loved.
Okay, if you go down there to the farmer's market and you hook up with him, let him know that you want to have him on. Okay.
A what?
Yeah.
Let him have a what? Let you have a what?
If he goes down to the farmer's market and talks to the guy with the burrito who was on the Food Network,
Okay.
Soul Food Burrito, tell him we want to have him on, so he can get some free food. I'm just saying. See? I'm just saying, could you tell your nephew that we want to get some free food because you know I like to eat? But we're going to go down there first and pay him for the food. Thank you, Fee. Love you.
We love you too, Fee.
PB roommate.
You know what?
Is this the roommate that was and then she didn't and you was like, well, I mean, you know how fine I was back in the day, you know, blah 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 blah.
No.
Not that roommate. Okay.
That's a Frenchman. The one who talking about, well, you know, I just want to let you know that I'm now gay and I was gay then, but I didn't think, I wasn't, you know, I never looked at you like that. Yeah, I thought I was. Yeah, look at me. How dare she not look at me and want me? Q, don't do that. You might throw your back out, baby.
No, let me
Oh,
let me tell you something. My back ain't gonna go out. Now that ankle. You tell you this back and this waist work.
Yeah.
Years of practice with that.
Who blow?
I'm about to get an inversion table. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Go who?
Who blow? Who blow?
Who's knocking? You need to come in.
Who blow?
Come here. I ain't did not.
I was in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you waste some time in Caesars?
Mm-hmm.
And I went and I was like, couldn't even pronounce a damn name of the watch. And then the guy was like, okay, so this is only $100,000. I said, dollars? I said, that ain't my house. And I walked the fuck out and he laughed. I was like, I'm just so sorry. Yeah.
Who won?
Really?
Who won?
Yeah.
Who won what?
I'm probably still not
It
pronouncing.
was the Australian Open champion. Let's see.
I like that.
I know you would.
Let me see.
That's too flashy.
That's female. That's what we do.
Let's see.
It's just the golf.
Oh, wow.
It's the golf ones.
But see, that's the funny part, because old boy, he was like, so you don't want to get you another one? You don't want to get you another presidency? No, I'm gonna actually wear this one. Don't actually wear this one. 1 minute left.
And what we gonna talk about?
MLK parade.
MLK Day.
We only got like 20 minutes left.
Who got 3 touchdown points? Wow.
Who
Who's
won?
lost?
Naomi Osaka.
Woo-hoo!
She was playing Serena, wasn't she?
No, she's playing Petra Kvitova.
Oh.
Serena was ousted by what's that girl name? Pliskova.
Now, have you been
And as if Serena could have won that game, just hurt her foot.
3, 2.
Yo, everybody, welcome back into the MashThaGas Talk Radio Show. Listen, this is your boy Q with the MTG crew. Again, you can give us a telephone call at 214-717-4827. Again, thank you so much for listening. We've kind of come to the end of our show. We're going to kind of reminisce on what we did at the MLK Parade. Just a quick announcement. Again, February the 7th, 2019, located at the Brick House Lounge, 2525 East Arkansas Lane. Arkansas Lane, Arlington, Texas. The after party live is going to be there from 7 to 9 p.m. featuring again the award-winning podcasters, Bree of Grown Folks Talking, Boss Hog of the Petty Crew, Amber of Diversely Outspoken, along with special guest comedian, the celebrity J. Carlos and DJ Curry. For information, please contact
DJ Curdy.
I said Curdy.
Oh.
No, you said
It sounded like curry though.
No, I said Curdy.
Yeah, it sounded like curry.
DJ Curdy. Curdy.
We're
What's
right.
up, Curdy? DJ Curdy, which was at the MLK Parade.
He was DJing the whole time.
Pre-sale tickets $15. Again, you can go to the afterparty.com/event for your tickets. Real quick, let's talk about the MLK Parade. Y'all have fun?
That was a great time.
I had a great time. Even though it was cold as hell and we got lost.
Right.
You got
But
law.
once we got in there, it was a wrap. And let me just say, when I got home at like 3 o'clock, because I was hungry, so I had to stop at the grocery
Me too.
store. Don't ever go to the grocery store hungry, because $60-something later.
Right.
That's not bad.
I went in for basil. Y'all. Came out.
Some $60 basil.
I know.
Came
right?
out with everything but the basil.
Oh, damn.
But no, I had my little Reuben sandwich, and then I fell asleep. I didn't wake up until like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that parade, it was fun. It took a lot out of me though. I ain't gonna lie. And
I mean, when you were in the middle of MLK, go back and look at our footage. Hendrix started dancing like he was the MashThaGas drum major. I was like,
Had
you
me
know,
like
I was like,
taking my ring off.
and I was like, and I thought he was gonna keep going. Miss Sunshine started dancing with him, and I was gonna go dance with her, but he stopped, and I was like, okay, you know.
well, I only got like a little bit in me. You know, I can only go for like about 2-3 minutes.
Little short bursts.
Yeah, little short bursts. I can't expel all that energy like I used to. Now, if you knew me in my college days, yeah, I was drunk most of the time at parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was, you know, my little, not my Fitbit, I didn't have that, but my phone registered 6 miles.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. We did some walking that day.
But you know, one good thing I think maybe shout out again to the MLK Community Center and various others that helped put that parade on. I think that, you know, we should go back next year.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We met so many different people, you know, and we had a lot of fun with it. You know, what tickled me in the whole process is while we were at the parade, or whatever the case it is, we found out how long the parade really is for real.
Right.
Like we were what number? What
121.
121. And so my cousin
in unit number 3.
In unit 3.
Right.
121.
And so my cousin hit me up because he's with 105.7, I think. No, I'll take that back. That's who gave us a shout out? Shout out to 979 B. 979 B. Thank you for your shout out to MashThaGas. Listen, he works with them. And so he was like, you know, cuz what number y'all on? Because he saw the live. I was like, bro, we 121. He was like, dang, we was number 45. Thank you. You know, I mean, you know, we know we about 1 o'clock just now getting to MLK. We understand that. We just crossing over 175.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, whatever. You know, so we had a good time.
And the bad part is we were in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We were in the middle.
There was still people plenty behind us.
Yeah, we were
And
in
at
the
one
middle.
point, they did start bringing another group to
Side
go
by
down
side.
so that we were side by side. We had the Chevy trucks.
Yeah.
The Chevy trucks and cars.
Yeah, sitting on 30s.
32s.
32.
32s.
What was the name of that car club? Y'all remember?
DFW Chevy Car Club? I don't know. I can't remember.
Because that one was that Challenger that was on the 32.
That was a Camaro.
No,
Was
it
that-
wasn't a Camaro.
I thought it was a Challenger.
No. That was a 2-door Camaro.
It was a Camaro. Are you sure it wasn't a Charger?
No, it was a Camaro.
Okay.
I thought it was a Challenger. Okay.
It was
I'm
a
gonna
two-door
let
Camaro.
him because he's
It's a
car
2-door
expert.
Camaro sitting on 32s.
But it was
Okay.
on
It
32.
was
I didn't have to
beautiful.
stop him. I'm like, I need to know.
We got that car on live. I was like, bro, I'm admiring your car.
I'm
All our
telling you.
viewers are seeing your car right now because that car was the
Tight.
bomb.
Mm-hmm.
You know what tickled me that you talk about DJ real quick, DJing. DJ Curdy. Man, I was like, me and Sunshine had to back up for a second so we can listen to the music behind us.
I know.
I was like, come on, Curdy, man, pick the music up, man. We trying to jam, pick it up. But it was funny, though, because a lot of those people, you know, he's playing old school music. A lot of people like, oh, okay, then, yeah, I like that. But then, as soon as you pass it, like, come on, get it, Miss Sunshine. You got a lot of compliments on your afro, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, people were like, oh, my God, her afro is sick. Yeah, so I was like, okay. Yeah, we had fun.
I was feeling a little Angela Davis that morning.
Miss Amber was out there with us. She was the most crunk.
Yeah.
She was, the most crunk.
Look,
like, you know.
And she older than me. I was like, oh.
She had a lot of energy out there.
My back, and she just. was like,
I talked to her about coming on to the show to visit one day. So I think we try to get her to come to the show. When we were back, kind of, walking a little bit, we talked about, and I think you heard us too talking about getting the quality people, to be with you, when you doing different things. And it was really cool to kind of connect with different people. Even with Montana, it was good to have fun.
I'm still trying to figure out how she went from driving to up through the sunroof, sitting on top of the car in a heartbeat.
I don't know how she did that fast. She did that pretty quick.
And it was just like,
shoot.
And I remember the car stopping. Next thing I know, she up out the sunroof. It's like, well, how the hell you get up there? And when?
My thing was, I didn't even know how you ended up in the driver's seat. I was like,
right.
Next thing I knew, you in the driver's seat. I'm like, well, you was just right here, so how that happened that fast? I was like, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It was like, here, drive for a second. And then next thing I know, we coming up on 175.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then I'm looking, I hop in the car and I see Montana. I'm like, how the hell you get in the sunroof? When did you do this? Because last time I saw her, she was driving. But she wasn't doing it.
She was on a little scooter.
Right. She was all over the place.
Now let's talk about before we got to the point that we were supposed to get to. Remember, we had to walk.
Right. We got lost. Yeah. After getting dropped off.
Let's talk about
in the truck.
In the staging area.
What you do,
Let's talk about when you got lost. What happened when you got lost? What happened?
Well, just
how
trying
did
to
you
find
get
our
lost?
location.
Well,
where we need to
actually,
be.
see, okay, now with this one is that so they had us meet at Fair Park, but it was the actual place point that the charter buses or city vans will come and get you and take you to your place that they think that you're supposed to be, or just drop you off, and you have to find where you are in line. So you look for the parade people or officials, and you say, hey, listen, I am 121 Unit 3, and he'll tell you, okay, well, this is where you need to go, or this is where you need to go. Yeah, he said 2 streets down. So we went 2 streets down. Now we went 2 streets down, but what it was is we didn't go down to the other side.
We went to the left.
We went to the left instead of the right. Because he told us to go to the left.
Right.
And we went to the left. And so we asked another parade official. They said, oh, just right down that way. So we just walked all the way down, and then we found Montana. But see, it was kind of cool because, like I said, some of the bands were warming up. I love me a good band. Shout out to South Oak Cliff High School that made me jam. When I was on the way, South Oak Cliff High School, Sock. Who else was out there? We saw
everybody.
Lancaster
High School was out there.
Townview was out there.
I mean, I was looking for Kimball. I don't know where y'all was.
I was looking for Kimball, Belt, Sock.
No, everybody lost. They probably
they were probably number 20.
Because like high school bands, they get you in and get you on out of there.
And that little girl dance group that was in front of, they had them babies dancing.
Oh my God!
Them little babies were dancing.
They had to warm up because it was cold out there.
Look, they had my calves on fire just watching them on them toes the whole time.
But them little babies was, and then that little middle school band that was right there with us. Yeah, with the female band director. Yeah. Even though they messed up my song, but they was in middle school, so I give it to them.
What song was it?
Do What You Wanna.
Yeah, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a second line song.
Oh,
yeah.
Speaking of second line, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Y'all talking about the parade?
Yeah.
I can't wait for Mardi Gras. I got my beads, I got my feathers, everything. Bought them at the dollar store, but the point of the matter is, I got my yellow, got my purple, got my green, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You ready to shop?
I'm ready, not for Mardi Gras, but for the week, all the weekends before the actual big Mardi Gras.
Right.
They have the different parades, so I'm ready. So when y'all talked about parade, I got all geeked.
You got all geeked, but what got me was the fact that you went to Shreveport and won $800, and they brought me nothing back from Shreveport.
No,
down-home sausage.
No, I didn't.
You could have brought me some down-home sausage back. You could have bought me back a bowl of gumbo.
You could have brought back some king cake.
You could have did all that, but you went down to Shreveport. That's what I'm talking about.
King cake ain't number $10.
Wait a minute. Then she gonna have the audacity to say, "I should have told one of y'all to grab me a bean pie while using South Dallas." Who wants to go get a hot doggone bean pie from you? And you up there in the Shreveport place.
Carnival, Trinidad.
Yeah.
That's another option.
Oh, I've been.
I don't like crowds and people like that. So y'all have to miss me with that one. The only reason I go to the Grambling PV game is because that's a tradition with my dad. That's the only reason I go to that. Yeah, outside of that, and then it's football too. So okay, I deal with it, but I don't like people like that. And that parade, it was too many people.
The sunshine, we boring you? Because, baby, you just young.
I'm sorry.
The sunshine
It's
sleeping.
hell. All of us
All
sleeping.
of us. Real quick, so we up to the part in our show where we definitely give some encouraging words on today. Real quick, I'm going to start, and then I'm going to just go down the line. First off, have a good day, and watch where you use your credit card or debit card information.
Mm-hmm.
You know, watch where you use it. Not going to go into a lot of details, but what happens is that a lot of people are actually, when you're using your cards or whatever, and you're having products either shipped here from somewhere, hackers definitely, Beijing, is one huge one, are using your credit card information or debit card information to try to get more money out of you. So, long story short, just make sure that your computers are secured. If you need to update your Norton virus, stop ignoring that damn message. Your AVG, stop ignoring that message.
Or Trend Micro. You like Trend Micro?
Trend Micro.
Trend Micro.
Stop ignoring the messages. Click on the X and go ahead. Click on it. Go ahead and
Renew
pay
your
to have your
Pay
subscription
money.
done. So because you need to have some type of antivirus on your PCs.
Especially, I'm glad you brought that point up, especially now that everybody's doing their taxes.
Taxes, absolutely.
Yes.
And then you're going through TurboTax and all this electronic filing, so it's definitely, so be
I
careful.
don't like tax season.
Me either.
I gotta pay.
That's
Yeah,
why
I
I wait till
know.
the
I wait till the
Very
very last minute.
last minute.
Right.
I do all my taxes and I be like, yeah, and you're just gonna sit there. And
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna be on the news
Right.
April 15th when they got that long line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna smile and have all my makeup on. Could you please put this in there?
I'm gonna wait till the 14th. I'm not gonna wait till the 15th, but I'll wait till the 14th.
I sure hope Uncle Sam ain't looking at this video.
Look, at least I do it every year.
I'm
He's trying to catch up with all that paperwork on his desk.
I'm on a perpetual payment plan. No,
Hey.
shit, I call them and be like, yes, Mom. I said, maybe I ain't got it this month. How
Yeah.
about next month?
Hey, ain't mad.
Yeah,
I ain't
be
mad.
like,
I'm
$111?
right next to you with
How
that.
about $11?
All right, I'm right next to you.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
I ain't got it.
Shoot. I
ain't like that.
owe.
Any words of encouragement, Miss Sunshine?
I was really discouraged with the earlier suicide of a 10-year-old child.
That's horrible.
Now, the 3-year-old child that was discovered alive, that was some rejoicing news.
That's good. That's good. They found him alive.
I
Good.
guess, children, I don't think that we do enough to protect them, and I don't think we give them the tools to protect themselves. So, therefore, I think that, if anything, take some time out, talk to your children, empower your children. Don't ever feel threatened if your child, is growing up fast, but give them the knowledge to be safe in doing so. I always told my kids in growing up, I raise you so that you will be a productive member of society. They can't be productive if they don't have the tools or the knowledge to do so. So, you know what? Make them get off the Xbox every once in a while. Make them put down the tablet every once in a while. And talk to your kids. Excursions with your kids. When I was a kid, when we were kids, how many times were we in the street? All the time.
Mm-hmm.
We gained a lot of knowledge in doing that. You make mistakes. Oh, I ain't doing that again. These kids aren't making any mistakes because they're online. It's just reset, reboot, restart.
Pick up a book. Go to the library and learn how to look up and use index cards.
Let me tell you, my
conjugate a
kids
verb
going
or
to
something,
the library is like, wow.
Yeah.
We're going to the library.
Yeah, you good because one thing I do resumes, and a lot of problems that I run across the sentence structure. That was and out of all the education that I've gotten, sentence structure was the one thing that stuck with me. Never understood why it stuck with me up until I got grown, and because it's important that you know how to write and talk.
Well, you say that. Working in corporate America, some of the memos and emails that I get.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I know.
I'm like, who proofread this before it went out? Because somebody needed to.
Mm-hmm.
You
There's
know
some
what?
trash
And
that goes around.
this is one of the things I've learned, how you can tell somebody's their background, because what I figured out is most intellectual or science-minded people, they don't really write in full sentences.
No.
You will give a bunch of bullet points.
That's right. That's how you do it.
Short bullet points, so where you're not looking at sentence structure.
That's right.
Hey, these are the things we need to focus on. Boom, 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 boom. And it's not a whole bunch of structure. You get your bullet points where you got basically one sentence.
I love short and sweet.
Because it can be read.
But I need coherence.
I'm gonna say with airline memos.
I'm talking about people who can't type.
When you get them in there,
can't spell.
it's a lot of errors.
And
no joke.
And I'm like,
and that's just about every airline. No joke.
I want to know who hired you.
We got 1 minute more. What you got? What kind of encouragement words you got?
This weekend, yesterday, there was a crash for a bus in Athens, Athens ISD. So it was hit by the train. We don't know the details, but we do know, most importantly, one child was killed.
One child
was killed.
And a 9-year-old girl in stable condition.
That's correct. So on Monday, what we're doing is we're wearing maroon for Athens ISD in to show togetherness.
Okay.
So wearing maroon. So I just want to put that out there. Shout out to Athens ISD. We're praying for you. We're with you. All of the surrounding towns here in North Texas, and we just our hearts go out to y'all.
Yep.
Absolutely. Well, listen, everybody. It's been a great show.
I encourage the word.
Go ahead, bro. You can close the show out.
All right. Well, you know what? What I'm gonna say is this: remember that before you can do anything for anybody, you have to take care of yourself.
Hello.
Absolutely.
You have to take care of yourself first. So it's not being selfish, but you have to take care of yourself first. And with that, you all, we're going to end the show. Want to wish you all a great week. Have a lovely time. Be blessed.
Come on,
take a deep breath.
Osteen.
Yes, take a deep breath. And with that, what's this last song we're gonna hear for today? Cause my phone closed up and
I'll Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
No,
hell no.
The last song is I Don't Need It by Jamie Foxx.
I don't need it.
Yes. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. We'll see y'all next week.
I'll see y'all next week.
Proud of East Texas. Terrell, Texas.
Look, I was gonna say, but I'm like, that's one of them long line dances that you just go, oh, I can't do that.
Right.
I can't do that.
Because I get confused and I don't like to be confused. But that don't mean I like it, Mo.
Okay, so here's the thing. I need to apparently my phone has forgotten the YouTube password, and I was able to stream via the 360 app, but I can't get back on the account.
You remember the password?
No. And I tried to do it to you the other day when I was hitting you up saying that's me.
Ain't the password Monique is lovely?
No. And we are still on Facebook Live, so
Monique
as soon as Miss Sunshine cut it off, I think I can tell Kendrick's